You are intoxicated.
It's like being in a sweet shop, isn't it? I mean, check it out for yourself, all the different bars, eateries, restaurants, clothes shops, you know, skate shops, you know, even the buskers on the street, you know, and it's a little bit like London, if you ask me, a little bit like Soho maybe, you know, it's got that vibe to it, you know, tea rooms, there's all kind of things going down in the northern quarter.
So what have been the best bits and the worst bits of your career so far?
Sure you want to hear this?
Yeah, just tell it straight, yeah? And always edit after.
Whoa. Alright then. Well, I suppose the negative side of that is, you know, most folk, they come out on a Saturday night, Friday night or whatever, and, you know, let's just say it's not about the music. There's a lot of folk that, you know, come to the Northern Quarter and they don't really understand what it's all about. Sometimes you have to deal with a lot of, let's just say negative types, which, you know, I mean, that's not even my job. My job is to go in there, play the music, make people happy, and then you have those individuals that want to stop you from doing that, basically. I don't understand why they're in the club and stuff, which brings me to another thing, you know what I mean? As a DJ, you can't do it all by yourself, you know. You play the music, as I say, you know, you try and keep people happy as best as you can, and then the security is supposed to sort out anything else, you know, which a lot of the time doesn't happen, and basically it just stops me from doing what I do best. Enthusiasm, let's say.
Seeking out image and identity does quickly lead you to the kind of the first entry levels of fashion. So, you know, there are some very critical things that happen in the 70s, in my opinion. The blueprint of the now is without a doubt in the 70s. The first concert that I went to was in 1969. and I was 14, and I went to a Blind Faith concert in Manchester, and Blind Faith were one of the first supergroups, the first group formed by people who had kind of in a way made a name for themselves in other groups. But I didn't go to see Blind Faith. I went to see the person who was supporting Blind Faith, and he was a guy who had a single in the charts called Space Odyssey. So I went to see David Bowie supporting Blind Faith. So I went to see David Bowie. As a 14-year-old, I went to see David Bowie. Now, David Bowie is, without a doubt, the first really significant formative influence upon me and many people of my generation. David Bowie suggested, and certainly, post Space Oddity and when he kind of comes back as Ziggy,
creating an image.
Yeah, by which time I am, let's say 72, I am 17. David Bowie puts to these younger teenagers the notion that you might be able to be something yourself, that you might actually be able to create an identity for yourself. Now, this was a relatively a very new idea for ordinary young people in ordinary parts of Britain. It was perhaps not exciting or not revelatory at all to privileged children from artistic families or wealth families or whatever, but to ordinary kids in ordinary homes at ordinary schools. The idea that you might actually create an identity for yourself that isn't given, that I'm not the world's most virtuoso rock player, so therefore I will be a rock god. I am not a great filmmaker, so that actually you could just invent something for yourself, that you could actually go to the vintage clothes shop or to the makeup or to the makeup table in your mum's bedroom, or
now is definitely exploring my own demons. Photographs are like jokes, short, punchy narrative. Photography does document time. I look at my dad, my son, I look back at all the work I've done, and it's like a diary of my life. Self-portraiture's driving me to question why I do it and what the images mean to me and to other people.